I like Overwatch and TF2, and I've always wanted to be able to experience both games at the same time. That's also the reason why I created TF2 game mode. And my dream for a long time has been crossover between these two games. In this series, I show you how this crossover would look like if TF2 characters were moved to Overwatch. Today, I wanted to discuss the concept for the face of TF2, big gentle Russian Heavy, and his beloved weapon called Sasha. So now, let's get into the video. In TF2, Heavy is defense class with probably least amount of ways to play him, as there's basically only one that is any close to being effective. As a Heavy, you generally use your minigun to shred enemies at close to medium range, but you can't forget to spin it beforehand. Most Heavies tend to use lunchbox items as their secondaries, as the vast majority of them can be used to heal after taking damage, as well as to give them to their medics when they get hurt. There isn't really much else there to say. Other playstyles like Fat Scout aren't really that useful. That's why I didn't really have that much of a choice when choosing playstyle for Overwatch Heavy. So in Overwatch, Heavy would most likely be a tank hero. He would have 450 HP and speed similar to Roadhog. His weapon would obviously be Sasha. It would fire 3 bullets for every shot from the barrel, with speed of 15 shots per second, and each bullet would deal 4 to 9 damage. It would have 200 ammo in the barrel and take about 2 seconds to reload. Important thing is that this weapon wouldn't be able to headshot, and that if you tried to fire it, you'd need to first spin it up, which would take 1 second. While spun up, he would move much slower. Clicking Alt Fire would spin up Sasha, and holding it would keep it spun up without using ammo. Heavy's first ability I think is pretty obvious. It would be his sandwich, and it would be very simple. Heavy would eat his sandwich, which would take 3 seconds, and during that time he couldn't move and would be regenerating health up to maximum of 450. Then it would go on 12 seconds cooldown. So because Heavy is a giant meatball, he would take a lot of damage, and this ability would make it easier for him to survive while healers are busy with other teammates. Or there aren't any healers, as it often happens. His next ability would be something similar to what Natasha in TF2 does. After using it, every shot from Heavy's minigun would slow enemies down depending on range. Longer range means weaker slowdown. The effect would last for 4 seconds and then it would go on 10 seconds cooldown. As I said, Heavy would be an easy target, especially for flankers. This ability would make it much easier to kill Genjis and Tracers and catch retreating enemies. Now his ultimate, and I gotta say, it was pain to try to make interesting and powerful ultimate for Heavy, with such a small variety of weapons he has, so what I decided to go for is Huolong Hitter. After activating it, Sasha would create a large ring of fire around Heavy while spun up. It would deal about 100 damage per second, and during this ultimate, Heavy could also use all of his other abilities. The effect would last probably around 8 seconds.
I like this new weapon.
So Heavy's playstyle would probably revolve around staying with team, dealing as much damage as possible, most likely to barriers and other tanks, using your slowdown to deal with flankers, eating sandwich when you're very hard, and using ultimate to secure control points. And that's pretty much what I got for you this time. I'm sorry if it was shorter, but Heavy is extremely boring class for me, and I struggled to give him abilities which would make sense. This concept is still much better than one I had few weeks ago. Well, I hope you enjoyed it regardless of length. Obligatory reminder about my social media, so Twitter, Steam group, Discord server, and as well as my trading for any donations. Links to all this you can find in the description. Thanks for watching and see ya next time.